So ChatGPT is all the buzz with everybody. Today, we're going to walk through how to sign up for your ChatGPT account and why, and give you some examples of some benefits it might add to your everyday life. So stay tuned and let's jump right to this. So here, this is the first screen. So you want to go to chat.openapi.com and hit sign up. And when you hit sign up here, it's just going to walk you through the sign up process. So it's going to ask for your email address. You can also use it with Google or with a Microsoft account and hit continue. And it's going to ask you for a password. And then it's going to send you a verification. So send you an email. They'll say, hey, this is ChatGPT. Verify your email address. You'll click on it and then you'll be able to sign in. And here we're going to give some examples of what happens when you sign in to the environment. So that's kind of what we're going to go over today. So now that you have your ChatGPT account, let's take a look at some of the benefits of it. So what is the difference between ChatGPT and Google or Bing or any other search engine that you're using? Well, here I've taken the same question, how do I cook shrimp in my Instapot? So for some of you, this is an everyday thing that you can use ChatGPT for. Any question that you have, you're cooking, you're fixing a light, you're doing a ceiling fan, whatever it is that you're doing in your life or that you have a question for. Maybe you thought you got billed too much by a contractor. How do you deal with that? What's the legal protection that you have? Any of those things. You could Google today or use a search browser and look for it. Now inside of the search browser, of course, you're going to get videos, you're going to get documents, people, blogs, lots of recipes, all kinds of very useful stuff. And this, by the way, absolutely awesome, right? Love it. Now, what's the difference if I do this in ChatGPT? Well, if I do it in ChatGPT, here's the same question. Now, notice the response that it gave me. Cooking shrimp in an Instapot, and it kind of lays it out. Now, it gives me an actual menu and tells me exactly what I need to do to get that completed. That's pretty cool stuff. Now, let's do one that I hadn't planned on doing, but let's just do one here. Best way to install a ceiling fan in my house. Let's see what it helps us out with this. So here it's going to give us some general steps that we need to do. And it's going to just kind of type it all out and show us exactly what we need to do. This is a very powerful thing. Now, you may already know how to do a ceiling fan, and it's all good, but it'll just continue, kind of type everything out for us, and it's looking at Google, basically. It's looking here. So let's do that one. How do I install a ceiling fan? Okay, and here you're going to come up with lots of videos and other instructions on how to do this. Remember, ChatGPT is just looking at all of these instructions, consolidating them, and giving us what it thinks is the best way to install a ceiling fan. You can do this for all kinds of things. Let's say here, how do I change my engine oil? Okay, and it's going to come up and tell me exactly what I need to do to change that engine oil. Now, it might not be everything that I need to do, and it will tell me to consult my manual and things like that, but this is pretty easy stuff, right? And again, you can do this on the internet and do it a Google or Bing or whatever search engine you have. Okay, so good stuff there. So let's look at some other examples here. And then it will keep it here. If you don't want that anymore, you can just click on the trash can, hit there, and it'll automatically delete it for you. But let's look at a couple others. Let's say that you're a churchgoer and you have to create a talk or teach a lesson on the atonement. And since I'm recording this in the spring, this is a great time of the year to talk about the atonement and resurrection. So here I just asked it, write a talk about the atonement of Christ. That's all I wanted it to do. Okay. Now let's go over to Google, and you can see here in the talk, you can see references that it's done, right? A couple scriptural references. It goes and kind of walks through its idea of how you would formulate a talk. Now, this doesn't have to be the final talk that you use, but you could use this as a starting point and then build from there. Now here, let's do that here, and we're going to go ahead and hit go. Now, here you're going to get lots of things. Now, this one happens to be from the Church of Jesus Christ, right, of Latter-day Saints. So you're going to see what they feel is the atonement of Christ, and it's going to walk you through what the atonement is, okay? So it's just a different perspective, and you can get that from all kinds of Bible.org and lots of places that will show you about this topic. So pretty cool. This kind of consolidates it for us. Let's look at something else. Let's say that you're trying to write a paper on email, and you're trying to instruct somebody in your organization. Maybe you're seeing that email messages aren't as kind and courteous and focused as they should be. So how do you address that? Well, that's easy. Explain that an email message should be kind and focused. Boom. And it automatically explains it for you. So that's kind of neat. Let's look at the search function here. For example, if I'm a coder and I want to create a search function, here, Power Apps code for searching information. And it gives me an idea of how I could search that information. It also does it and will actually give me code examples like this as well. So this is Power Apps for viewing an Outlook calendar in a gallery. So if you're working with some of a software suite, for example, that you don't understand, or you have a question about, you can get the information right here. Now, of course, you can take this same information here. Let's just do this in Quicken real quick. Excuse me, in Quicken, in Google real quick, and see what it looks like. Okay, now, so here I'm going to come up. Reza has got a video, one of my more watched videos. Reza does a great job there. But you can see here also Shane Young does a great job. But you can see these guys are going to walk you through how to do that as well. And then you're going to get step-by-step instructions in blogs as well. So all of that's absolutely good as well. Let's use one last use case. So we've talked about doing simple things around the house. But what happens can you use this in your everyday life, perhaps to make communication a little better, that you don't have to rethink things? So for those of you that receive information from others that you have to consolidate and summarize, for example, maybe you have a team that's doing things, but you need to summarize information to share it with your boss, for example, and you want to strip out some of the more technical terms, things like that. Well, that's pretty easy to do too. Let's use this here, this email here, which honestly I think is a scam of some sort, but here it's kind of junk mail to me. But here I'm going to copy the email message, but it works good for this example. And here I put it right in here. So I copied that email example, and you can see it right here. Okay. Now I've asked ChatGPT to summarize it for me. So notice here that it's gone ahead and summarized it into paragraphs. Now, is it fewer words than it has here, and does it explain it a little differently? I don't know if it's fewer words. I think it is, but it does explain it differently. So it's not kind of breaking it down into bullets. Oh, excuse me. So here's an example. Now, can you continue to make this smaller? You can continue. Notice here, I copied this here, this response, and then I added the response here to see if ChatGPT would even make it smaller again. Now, you'll get this error that it doesn't want to make it smaller. So anyways, great examples here of how you can use ChatGPT in your everyday life. It's very easy. It's free. They do have a plus version that you can do at $20 a month. that gives you these benefits here. I'm just using the free plan, and it works very, very well. So good luck with this. I think you'll find that you'll be able to use this at least to augment what you're using a search engine for today.